Hello everyone, welcome back to Full Invasion. This is the Star Wars versus droids. We're on a space station here. Let me turn off my inventory and see if we turn on the mini-map. There we go. It's time to murder some droids. Also, get murdered by lightsabers at some point, probably. I think that's how this matchup usually goes. Turn off all those health bars. I don't need to see them right now. Oh god. Hi. Hi. That droid is bleeding. That person is carrying a double-sided lightsaber. Double-bladed lightsaber? Lightsaber polearm? I don't know what you call them. That's just right here. Double-bladed, yeah. And a normal lightsaber. That's so much lightsaber. Yeah, I'll kneel down. Let's do this. Oh gosh. I just have a sword, man. I am outclassed by this lightsaber. So the way these rifles work is if you let go of the mouse button, you're going to reload. But if you don't let go, you just keep firing. Now I remember when this mod was in beta, the blasters for this faction they're all like, they fire at the rate of like a machine gun or an assault rifle. They fired super fast, and then in the official release they slowed the actual projectile firing speed to basically like a single shot rifle if you were continuing to press the button, you know? Let's rest up. Probably a good change, because I remember in the beta version it was pretty ridiculous when you had 20 people with just, you know, full assault rifle speed blasters just murdering waves before they could even get out of the spawn area. It was pretty nuts. I mean, heck, this is still nuts. So yeah, apparently the clone trooper... Oh, well, actually, if there's a stormtrooper here, then that means we are past the Clone Wars. Maybe we're just relics? I don't know. Well, but we're being assaulted by droids. So yeah, this would have to be during the Clone Wars. Maybe that stormtrooper armor is just like a prototype. Oh. I don't know. Trying to create actual story reasons for these full invasion matches. Also, this is going to be a tough wave. The lightsabers can reflect blaster fire. The enemy can do it, we can do it. So, if they are actively blocking, they're going to be reflecting this blaster fire back at us. And they are actively blocking. That's the whole reason why I even bring a sword. Oh god, it's for waves like this, and I'm dead. Yeah, whole waves of force users are, not even force users, just lightsaber wielders. Really hard for the stormtrooper and clone troopers. As you can see here, it looks like we're about to wipe. So I don't think I think I stopped playing Full Invasion before the Game of Thrones season was over. So let me just talk a little bit about that. Spoilers for the last Game of Thrones season. I'm trying to remember what episode I stopped playing Full Invasion on. I can't remember, but how about the last two episodes? I'll just say the Braveheart battle scene was awesome. Just insanely cool with Jon Snow. And then the last episode, holy. They just, man, a lot of people filmed their last Game of Thrones scene in the season finale of Game of Thrones, and it was pretty insane. And it happened really early on, and Cersei is just looking over the city with a glass of wine, just not caring at all anymore. But then, like, one of the best parts was the very well shot and done, the Tommen scene. because I think it was pretty much silent through the whole thing. And he just calmly walks off screen, and you can hear him setting his crown down in the background. And when a show like that just kind of lingers on an open window overlooking the city, you get that feeling of like, oh no. And then the character walks back on the screen and you're like, oh shit. It just practices their diving into a swimming pool. That was an insane scene. I did not see that coming. I kind of knew that the explosion stuff was going to happen. That was kind of easy to tell that was going to happen. But Tom and part, I had no idea. Also, I thought that Marjorie was going to escape somehow. I did not think that this was going to be her final episode. I was pretty sure that what's his name? The Raven? Is he named the Raven? The head preacher guy? I knew that he was going to get it. But I really thought that Marjorie was going to last. Also, let's take a brief moment to discuss how Varys can do the Dragon Ball Z Goku, what was that move called? Where he put his fingers to his forehead and just teleported anywhere in the universe? Because it made sense when you see him in Dorne, because he left a couple episodes ago. He was like, you know, goodbye my old friend, when he's talking to Tyrion. And then you see him in Dorne, and you're like, oh, okay, so that's what he's doing. He's looking for allies to go against, you know, Cersei and the Lannisters. But then, like 20 minutes later in that same episode, he's on a boat with Daenerys' fleet. I'm like, wait, I'm sorry, what? Did you instant transmission Goku move onto the fleet or something? What, are you a Super Saiyan? Varys? What? So yeah, apparently Varys has superpowers. Or, like, he honestly doesn't. It's just the way that they shot that episode made it look like he kind of did. And I saw a bunch of funny memes after that about Varys' superpowers. But that was still pretty cool. Varys behind the scenes, working his magic. Transporting all over the world. And I think one of the MVPs of the entire season would have been Mormont. Lyanna? Is it Lyanna? I know she was named after Jon's mom. It's Lyanna, right? Liara? Something like that. Liara Mormont, Lyanna Mormont, Lina Mormont, I can't remember the first name. MVP of the entire season. And she's in 3 episodes? That is very good actor. She was amazing. And the lines that she had was amazing. Her delivery was amazing. Man, I want to see a side series of her grown up. And, like, just become this badass. Because, like, she's already a badass. But, like, I want to see her on the throne. Let's just say, let's put her on the throne. Fuck Cersei. She can go die in a fire. Just put Mormont on the throne. And she will handle the White Walkers. She will handle whatever needs to be handled. Forget Daenerys. Forget her silly dragons. Mormont will tame the dragons from Daenerys. She could do anything. She was amazing. She's in like 4 scenes. God. Such amazing, powerful character. And she is what? Like 15? No, not even 15. She's like 12? Something like that in the show. And she just talks shit to the other lords of the North about how they've been basically treacherous little bastards, and how there's only one true king, and they're like, oh man, nah, she's totally right though. Like, I love Jon Snow, but man, put Mormont on the damn throne. Swear fealty to her. Ah, MVP. MVP. So it was a cool season. Very cool season. We had no Khal Drogo, so it's not a perfect season. The only perfect season was season 1 because Khal Drogo was amazing, was the best. And each time I'm like, you know what? Maybe they'll bring it back in a flashback scene or something. I just want more Khal Drogo. That's another side story I want. I want the story of how Khal Drogo became Khal Drogo, played by Jason Momoa. I think that's the actor's name. Because he did that shit perfectly. One of the most iconic scenes for me for Game of Thrones is, well, it's going to be in season 1, when one of his followers talk shit to him because they wanted some slaves, and then Daenerys was like, no, you can't have them, and so he was complaining to the Khal, and the Khal gave in to Daenerys' request of not allowing that person to take those slaves. And so then he challenged Khal. He's like, motherfucker, you're no Khal. And so the Khal Drogo just talks he says some good lines in this this little exchange before this fight starts. And as he's doing it, he's pulling out his weapons and just dropping him as he's saying he's gonna rip out his tongue, and like, oh, it is amazing. And he doesn't even use any weapons. At least his own weapons. And it is one of the coolest shit-talking, I'm going to kill you kind of scenes I've seen. It is really well done. I would suggest if you have not seen it, or if it's been a while, go back and... I don't know how you would look at it, but I'm sure it's on YouTube. But the way that he just shit-talked this person before he murders him and just drops his daggers, he pulls them out and just drops them like, I don't need these. My daggers don't need them. And it's amazing. Of course, that scene does lead to his eventual death, but, you know, it's still an amazing scene. I just want Khal Drogo. I want Khal Drogo's adventures. I want, what else do I want? I want a side story on the Targaryen line before, you know, the Mad King. So when they came into power, I would like that. I want the Mormont side story with the only Mormont that really means anything. Although, her, what would that be? Her father? No. Her grandfather? Who? What? The guy who was leading the Night's Watch. He would have been her grandfather, right? Wait a minute. How is that relationship with the girl and the Night's Watch guy? It would have to be, right? Because the son is the one who's banished and in love with Daenerys. But does that mean that she is his daughter? I guess it would be? Wait a minute, is that really his daughter? No way. Is it? Have they made that connection in the show? I can't remember the books. It's been years since I read the novels, because it's been years since the new one was released. She would have to be the daughter. Huh. Anyway. She's super cool. What are we doing? Oh, right, this map. Okay, Osgiliath. I'm just sitting here deep in thought about Game of Thrones. I never really just actively made that connection about who she really is. But yeah, she would have to be the daughter. And then her father got banned? Or did, like, the line pass to cousins or something after he was banished? Like, I don't know that story. And if it was said in the books, I did read them all, but I don't remember. Oh, I had not played Full Invasion for, what, a month? 2 months? First time back. Gotta play Lord of the Rings. Like, it's gotta happen. It's tradition. Thought the game just crashed. And oh man, next season of Game of Thrones. The next 2 seasons have to just be insane. The next season has to be the rise of Daenerys in the Seven Kingdoms and the death of Cersei. It's gotta happen. Because they still have to deal with the Night's King, who is the ultimate power, like the ultimate end evil group, I think, of the Game of Thrones, at least of this story. So that means Cersei has to die in the next season, or at least be dealt with. Put in a jail. No, she has to be murdered. For everything that she has done in this show, she has to be murdered. And I like Cersei as an evil person. I like her. I do. I still want her to lose, of course. But there have been points in the story, especially dealing with her children, where you kind of felt bad for her because she is losing her children one at a time. And then by the end, like when she loses Tommen, she just gives no cares. She's like broken inside. She's totally gone. Any shred of goodness and kindness in her is now been robbed of her because that was all tied in with her children. So she is now just a full-on villain. Whereas before, she was still a villain, but she had likable qualities because her children made her that way. But now they're all gone. And so she's just going to be the evil queen, and she's going to fall. But her storyline has been, I thought, really good, really well told. But it's time for it to end, and I think then the last season would have to be the actual Night's King and all that stuff, and Jon Snow and Daenerys coming together. I'm kind of curious how that's all going to go down. Since I believe, like they basically said, the famous fan theory for years and years is that Jon Snow is a Targaryen, and the show finally was like, no, yeah, he is. Which means it's going to be that way in the books, I would guess. So they are... Jon Snow would be Daenerys' nephew, right? And Daenerys is his aunt? So, like, I'm wondering how that's going to happen. Are they going to meet and she's going to have her dragons, and then the dragons are going to react to Jon Snow because he has Targaryen blood in him? Somehow? Like, I don't... Is that how they're going to come to realization of, like, Jon, like, who are your parents? And he's going to be like, I don't know who my mother was. I know nothing. And then that's when Bran's going to have to show up, right? Because Bran had those visions, and I guess he's going to be the one to tell Jon Snow who he really is. He has to be. He's going to be the one that makes that connection, and then, yeah, that's going to have to be how that goes down. Honestly, that's kind of the whole point currently of Bran's storyline, was to find out who Jon's parents were, and also become, what, the Green Man? But, like, the most important part of his storyline right now is the reveal of Jon Snow's mom and father. Hands down. Also, Hodor. I guess I should touch up on that, man. Hold the door. Oh, man. That scene. Out of all the people to go in Game of Thrones, I did not think Hodor was going to be one of them. He's just this gentle giant. I guess maybe he was destined to die because he is a gentle giant. But that was an amazing way to go. And an odd reveal onto how he got his name. I know that George Martin said, I think he came out with a statement after that episode aired saying that the way it's going to go down in the books is going to be different, but it is kind of similar. So I'm kind of curious how it goes down in the books, but man, Hodor. Rest in peace, buddy. Rest in peace to most of the cast. Oh, and how can I forget? Arya. Oh my god, the meat pie. Oh, she kind of also had the various instant travel powers in this episode too, but they had to do that because it's the last episode and they needed to have these scenes in the show. Or at least they felt they needed to. And that was amazing. That was amazing. Where are my sons? They're right here, my lord. Huh? Where? Right here. Then he just looks at the pie. Oh, man. Arya. I've seen some really cool fan art of Arya after that episode air of her just as an assassin in multiple pictures, and she's with her wolf as well. I hope that happens, because her wolf is still technically alive. And I remember in the books, there's not much mention of, what's her name? What is that wolf's name? Can't remember, but there is a brief mention, I think here and there, of a giant wolf kind of around the Riverlands who is leading this massive wolf pack, and it's alluded to that is Arya's lost direwolf. So I'm hoping they haven't mentioned the direwolf ever since season 1, so I don't know if they're ever actually going to go back to it in the show, but I'm hoping that they do bring her back in the last 2 seasons, but they may not, because they haven't even alluded to it. That's same direwolf story in the show as they have in the books. But I hope they do it, because I would love to see Arya and the wolf just murder people. I want to see the wolf there in the throne room at King's Landing. I want to see Arya murder Cersei. I want to see this game stop freezing. And I want the wolf to be right there, just growling in Cersei's face, and then Arya come up behind her and just kill her, just murder her. That's what I want to see. I don't know if we're going to see that. I don't know if Arya's going to be the one to kill Cersei, but I really want her to be. Just going around, like, I want the entire season 8, her just have a scene here and there of just murdering people on her list. That'd be great. We've been wanting revenge for 4 seasons now, and she's finally getting it. Although I guess she did kill that one dude last season, which caused her to get into a lot of trouble. But yeah, I just want her to be this badass assassin. And she already has proven to be. Like, she clearly knows how to wear people's faces, because she did that. I guess they taught her at some point in her training, or she just learned on her own how to do it. I didn't realize that she knew that power, or that she was there long enough to gather that power. But yeah, no, she knows some stuff. And now she's gonna be on a murder and killing spree. I'd like to see her meet up again with the Hound, since, oh yeah, the Hound, like the Hound's episode was amazing with the brief cameo by that actor's name I'm not gonna remember, but I thought that was a sweet, just one of the best scenes, or best parts of the season was when the Hound was confirmed to be alive. It's been speculated that he is, because they didn't actually show his death in the books or in the show, so it's been speculated that he was still alive, because George R. Martin is pretty descriptive when important characters die, and he was very vague on that scene in the books, and so I'm glad to see that the Hound is still around. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it, everybody. I just wanted to pop in here, play some Full Invasion, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about Game of Thrones now that the season is over. Very excited for the next 2 seasons coming out, and I will see you all next time. I'll keep playing some more Full Invasion here and there. So hope you all have a good day. Take care.